To you, Connor Gillis, I want to wish you a happy Pride Day, a happy Shabbos, and to let you know that Mason would be proud of what you're doing. To everyone else, you need to watch this video because it explains a lot more about what Blevel has been doing. And those who were doing his wrecking activity have come forward and have not only admitted that they were doing it, but they now apologize because they were misled on why they should be doing it. And that's what's really important here.
There is no war in Bossing Say. I don't see anyone fighting. I don't hear any gunshots. I mean, the people I know aren't fighting anyone. Huh. There is no war in Bossing Say, right? There is no war in America. We haven't had a war on American soil since the Civil War. I'm not. Hey, comrade. Welcome. Wrong. There is a myth that in the United States of America, we are at peace. Now you'll hear many people say, well, yeah, we're in wars in far-flung places. But there's no war happening in America. That's ridiculous. Huh. You don't think there's war, huh? Then I don't understand why every single day innocent unarmed black people are being murdered. I don't understand why every day I don't understand why indigenous people are kept in concentrated areas. Some would say concentration camps. Why are the police imprisoning people just trying to survive by staying in homes that are unoccupied? Why do the police so easily disappear undesirables from their point of view off the streets? And why is it that there are some people within the borders of the United States of America have declared war on the government, have declared war on the state? Well, it's not because of left adventurism, as many people from my side of the aisle would say. And it's not for some glorious revolutionary ideals, as a lot of left adventurists would say. It's a fight for survival for these people. And the people that are at war with the United States, and not by choice, this was brought upon them. They did not ask for conflict. They did not ask to be victims of state-sponsored violence. They didn't ask. So they're fighting back for their survival. And this is the most legitimate form of violence that exists. In the eyes of myself and anyone who calls himself a revolutionary, is fighting for your survival, fighting for the dignity of your humanity. But it's ignored. And it's not just ignored by regular everyday people. It's ignored by communists. It's ignored by socialists. It's ignored by online anarchists, but not real anarchists. It's certainly not ignored by Maoists. And me as a Marxist-Leninist, I have to step back and ask myself, well, what's going on here? What am I not seeing? Have I bought into the myth of peace in America? Have I bought into the myth that the legal struggle is what conditions we are under now? Well, I'd say for people like me, yes. The legal struggle for people like me. That's the stage we're in now. But there's the fourth world, what Demarchists call the fourth world. And these are like colonized people within an imperialist nation, like the Palestinians, indigenous people, black people, people of color generally, that have fallen under some sort of colonization efforts. But these people, along with the lumpen proletariat and the lumpenized proletariat, are being murdered by the state without discretion. And so a large strata, larger than you think, a large strata of these people whose very existence is at threat, have decided we're not going to stand for this and we're going to fight back. Because they are when you corner a people, when they have nothing left, when they don't even have a home to stay in, and their existence is being threatened by state-sanctioned violence and by the activities of neo-Nazis and Zionists, literally murdering people, disappearing people without a trace. You gotta say, what the fuck is going on here? We have to open our eyes and ears. And so you have yes, I'm okay. I'm actually leading up to this. Hello, Jawad. And so these people, there's a group of people, several groups of people within Arizona, where this is starkly happening very, very strongly. And it's led by three groups of people. It's led by the Arizona Rebellion, which is an anarchist collective who do squatting and other serve the people programs. And then you have the Bundist movement, which Comrade Ned is a part of. And you have the Navajo Nation, which Comrade number 3 is a part of. And these people, all across the board, have been dealing with state-sanctioned murders and disappearances of these people. And it's especially bad for the fourth world and lumpenized people in this part of the country. It's not like the Midwest. It's not like the East Coast or the West Coast. This is basically the Wild West. So what's happening is that these people are fighting back, but unfortunately, they're outgunned and outnumbered, and they don't have a platform, a large platform outside of Jason to get their message across. And so I'm just going to be here and give y'all some insight to what's happening over there. So the Arizona Rebellion specifically is a group of anarchist squatters who are literally trying to give homeless children and homeless young people and lumpenized people places to live who have no means because they're lumpens. And so what they're basically doing, what they were doing on a mass scale, was squatting in many different locations, many different houses, and giving a lot of these places to stay. But unfortunately, they didn't get enough solidarity from the outside. They didn't get enough attention. You know, the world was blind to them. And what happened is that they're reduced to one house, and there have been a string of them who have been murdered by the police. And people are literally dying, many of them teenagers. And the Navajo Nation as well has been completely ignored by the country. And during this COVID pandemic, it has hit them very badly. And what has been happening in indigenous reservations since they've existed is the disappearance and femicide of Navajo Nation women. And people are dying on a mass scale. They're not being provided vaccines or PPE. These are like dead zones where the government just ignores it, and so the people are sat there dying, and they've chosen we are going to take care of things ourselves here. So the sad thing, and the Bundist movement, they have been a victim of the JDL, which is a Zionist organization, and neo-Nazis because they're Jewish, and 5 of their members of the Vanguard Circle were killed execution style by neo-Nazis paid by the JDL in Arizona. And it really hampered the Bundist movement, which is only now having its opportunity to come back. But what they're doing is they're standing in solidarity with the Navajo Nation and the Arizona Rebellion. And so the reason I want to bring this up, the reason I made this video in the first place, there is no war in Ba Sing Se, there is no war in America. Because we don't know it, we don't see it, we don't hear it, we don't platform them. Blevel was supposed to platform these people on Ewoks Unhinged, the squatters, back when they knew they were under siege and they knew many of them were about to die and get kicked out of these squatting houses. And instead of having them on, he chose to blackball them and do sectarian videos about anarchists. And when that happened, these people had no one else to turn to. They were counting on him. And no one knew. No one knew. All these people have died and no one knows their names. No one knows who they are. No one knows what they talk about. No one. They're lost. But I won't forget these people. And 5 children were massacred. These are teenagers, like kids and young people. And what's going on is that these lumpen people are being whisked away and disappeared because they're disposable, this Malthusian ideology. And so I was really upset about hearing that, but and you know, it's something that maybe I'll give B the benefit of the doubt on this. And maybe he had a reason. And then people started coming out with all this shit against him. Now, I hadn't seen any evidence, and I didn't want to talk about it because I was friends with B. And I thought he was a good person. And I was starting to question it. But until I had seen evidence, I wasn't going to say anything. I believe the victims always, but I just wasn't going to say anything because I'm not in the business of wrecking, right? But he wrecked. He doxed Comrade Net. And now today, this morning, and I was going to do this video anyway, but I wasn't going to mention B. But now I have to. He's forced my hand. B called Net an abuser of children. And he said he was an abuser by tricking them into ultra-left ideologies. And that he was manipulated and harassed by Net and emails. What he forgot is that I was carbon copied in every single email between him and Comrade Net. He is lying. He is lying. This is the first time I've had the proof right in front of my eyes. And he just lied. And you know what he's doing when he does that? He's risking the lives of more squatters. He's risking the lives of more Navajo Nation. Because to him, there's no war in Ba Sing Se. He's up in his nice house in fucking Canada. He doesn't know what's fucking happening down there. He doesn't know what Net's doing. Like Jason said, Net is helping people whose parents literally abuse and beat them, and they're alienated kids that would be on the street with nothing without the anarchist Arizona Rebellion. And Net helps guide those people to them, gives them a place to live, because they are going to run. They have already ran. He's not convincing them to run. They have already ran. He's making sure, because he's a father and he has that mindset, that they are safe. They are in a safe place with people who care for each other. But unfortunately, that doesn't matter to Blevel. Blevel knows this. Don't let him lie to you. He knows about all of this. He was going to platform these people. Yeah. And that helped Falcone and Ingalls as well. I really wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he bold-faced lied. And if he can lie about that, he can lie about anything. I don't trust a goddamn word he says anymore. Blevel believes that the Arizona massacre didn't happen, that people just disappear off the face of the earth magically, right? That's how it fucking works. People just fucking disappear, have no more record. I mean, their corpses in the ground. And if it's not, they've just disappeared and have their bodies dumped in the desert, because that's what's fucking happening. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. These people are at war, and not by choice. They're being hunted down like animals. And if you think, oh, this is ridiculous, the police would never do that. What the fuck kind of Marxist are you? I'm not understanding the fucking United States police who openly murder black children and get away with it. Like, of course this fucking happens. Are you kidding? The United States is based off of a Malthusian ideology where human life is expendable, especially the lumpen. They don't need the lumpen. The lumpen are temporary, cheap, fast labor that they can turn over. They don't need it. They have the workers. B, listen, if you're watching this, you have to listen to me. What you are doing has nothing to do with you, okay? You're making all about you. A random call from California. You're making this all about you. It's not about you. It's not. This is about a wider movement. And that's what I said to you a few days ago. We are bigger, or the movement is bigger than us. That's what I said. I guess that went in one ear and right out the other. Exactly. I'm against left adventurism as well, but it's not left adventurism when you're being hunted down. That's absolutely correct. These people are fighting for their lives. It's no different than the people in Gaza or the West Bank fighting for their very lives, fighting for their existence. It's no different. It's on a smaller scale. It is. And it's unique in different parts of the country. But Arizona isn't like other parts of the country. Mm-mm. And that's what I have to say about Blevel. And that's it. I'm never going to talk about him again. Never. I stand with Comrade Net. I stand with the Ingalls. I stand with the Falcon General. I stand with Dark Zenobia. I stand with the Arizona Rebellion. I stand with the Boondists. And I stand with the Navajo Nation. I stand with the New Multipolar Movement and their fight for life and dignity and respect. because that's what we should be focused on as communists, not our personal fucking YouTube channels, but the people who are being hunted down and killed. But to these people, it's all about them, all about them, all about them. This is the poison of Anglo-liberalism. This is the poison of Anglo-liberalism. That's the Anglo box. The Anglo box. You got to bust out of it. And I'm angry now because I know the truth, and he tried to manipulate me like I was some vulnerable person. Bitch, I'm not vulnerable. I'm a bad bitch. Fuck with me. See what happens. This is fucked. So all I have to say is there is war in Boston. Say there is war in the United States against these people. There is war in Arizona. There are people being hunted down and they are fighting for their lives. And I stand in solidarity with them, and so should you, regardless of their ideological tendencies. This is humanity. We serve the people. All power to the people. Not all power to the party. Not all power to the YouTuber. Not all power to a select few. All power to the people. Solidarity, y'all. Don't give up the ship.